bookworms! Today I'm going to be doing a news and stuff video. It's my first video back in a little while. I'm sorry for the little break. It wasn't too long. It was only like a couple of weeks. But first of all, the Animal Crossing DLC came out and I had just been playing that like non-stop. And then second of all, I just had like a much harder time with the holiday season, like with Thanksgiving, than I anticipated having. So I was just kind of like in a little bit of a funk and wasn't really up for filming. The holiday is now behind me, so I've gotten over one more hurdle and ready to try to like get back into the swing of things. So I hope that everyone else had a good holiday and a good couple of days off of work if you were able to be off of work. Okay, so first of all, Shannon Messenger announced that Keeper of the Lost Cities #9 is not going to be the last book. There is going to be a 10th book in the series and it's going to be coming out in 2023. This is really exciting news and also just really good to know because when Shannon announced book 9 and the release date for that, which is November of next year, I was like, but isn't the last book? I talked about it in a past news video. I love this series and I'm really excited that we're going to be getting more of it. It was also announced that Jenny Han is continuing her partnership with Netflix and she's actually going to be making a spin-off series of movies following fan favorite Kitty, which I'm so excited about. I love Kitty. She is the sassy, funny sister. She was one of my favorite characters in the book series and I really like the way that she was brought to life in the Netflix films. So I'm so glad that she's going to be getting her own series and I'm also really hopeful that even though Lara Jean and Margot will both be away at school, they'll have some cameos here and there, and also I'm really hoping that we get the dad back. I'm so excited about this. There's also a new audiobook version of the first book in the Wheel of Time series, The Eye of the World. It was narrated by Rosamund Pike, who is playing Moraine on the Amazon Prime series, which I have been really enjoying so far. Then it was announced that Rick Riordan and Mark Oshiro are actually co-writing a book together that takes place within the Percy Jackson universe. It's the first time ever that Rick is co-writing a book, and this book is going to follow the son of Hades and his boyfriend Apollo. Then Hannah Witten, who is the author of For the Wolf, announced a new trilogy series. It's called the Nightshade Kingdom Trilogy, and the first book is called The Foxglove King. There's no cover or anything yet. Then you guys know how much I love Ashley Elston. So Ashley Elston actually just sold her first adult book and it is a suspense novel. The title is First Lie Wins, and again, there's no cover or anything for it yet. It was just an announcement of a deal being made and I am so excited for this. Also, I'm a little bit late on this, but Nerdy Ink released ACOTAR dust jackets in their shop. So a lot of people ask me where I got these Throne of Glass covers or where I got these Lord of the Rings covers, and both of them are from Nerdy Ink. So she's doing an ACOTAR series and you can bet that I pre-ordered those. I'm likely going to cover up the colorful ones that I have, but we'll see how I feel. They're really beautiful. Then Illumicrate announced a new imprint that they are working on. They just opened this imprint, so they're going to be creating really like beautiful special editions of books that they love that mean a lot to everyone on the Illumicrate team. The first book that they're going to be publishing is Sabriel by Garth Nix. All of the books that come out under their new imprint are going to be limited and they are just like, they will announce a release date. You don't have to be subscribed to Illumicrate. It's going to be open to everyone to try to grab, which is really nice. Oh gosh, I'm late on this news too, but Rainbow Rowell published a short story called If Fates Allow. It's a Christmas romance short story focusing on Reagan from Fangirl. It's available on Amazon as an ebook or as an audiobook, and there is no physical release at this time. It just came out on November 18th, so it's still kind of new if you haven't heard about it yet, but I know I am a little bit behind on filming this video. Then I was so excited to hear that Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples is going to be coming back in January of 2022. The comic has been on a hiatus for quite some time now. I believe it was a longer break than the creators intended. The first issue back will be issue 55, and it's going to be a double issue, so it'll be 44 pages. And in case you weren't aware, the break that they did take started at the halfway point in the series, so everything that we have so far is the first half of the series, and then starting in January we'll be getting the second half of the series. Then another new publishing imprint was announced called Webtoon Unscrolled. It's an imprint at Wattpad, and what they're going to be doing is taking Webtoon comics and publishing them in a traditional graphic novel format, the first of which will hit shelves in fall 2022. They're going to be starting with 6 webtoons, and those are Tower of God, True Beauty, Doombreaker, Boyfriends, Everything is Fine, and Cursed Princess Club. And this is also really interesting since Del Rey, Random House, just published Lore Olympus, which is one of Webtoon's titles. So it's interesting that they would open an imprint with another publisher to get more out there. I'm just like curious how that deal came about. Then we have a whole lot of cover reveals. So the first one being Queen's Hope by E.K. Johnston. This is the 3rd book in the Padme trilogy, and I am so looking forward to this book. It's going to focus very heavily on the relationship between Anakin and Padme, and there is actually a sneak peek on StarWars.com right now, and you can read a scene from Padme and Anakin's wedding. We also got the cover for Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion. This one looks absolutely stunning, and I'm so looking forward to reading this first book. I've heard such great things about it. Then we got the cover for These Twisted Bonds by Lexi Ryan. I actually just finished reading These Hollow Vows, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to the next book. So it was exciting to get the cover reveal like right in the week that I was finishing up the first book. Then another Star Wars cover. We got the cover for Brotherhood by Mike Chen. This is the book that's going to be following Obi-Wan and Anakin. Then everyone seems to be obsessed with The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I myself have not yet read it, but I'm hoping to do so very soon. But Ali just announced 3 new interconnected novellas that she's going to be publishing next year. They're going to be following best friends who work in STEM, and the name of the trilogy is the Loathe to Love trilogy. It's going to be in the vein of many romance series where they're all companions and you don't necessarily have to read all of them or read them in order to enjoy them, but they will be connected. They're coming out in February, starting on audio first, and then the ebooks will follow. So audiobooks of the novellas will be published in February, March, and April, and then ebook versions will be released in May, June, and July. The books are called Under One Roof, Stuck With You, and Below Zero, and I believe it's the same artist who did the cover for The Love Hypothesis. And then Ali also announced that her next full-length novel is coming next August, and it's called Love on the Brain. So there's a lot of Ali Hazelwood coming in 2022. Then we got the UK cover for The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axie O, and I am so in love with this cover. It is like a pastel dream. I feel like it's going to look really nice with the Elizabeth Lim UK covers. They're like not related at all. They just have a similar color scheme, but this one sounds just amazing. Then we got a cover for Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. This is Adrienne's first book with Random House. All of her other books have been published with Wednesday Books, and this one sounds like it's going to be like a fantasy novel like she does typically tell, though there is going to be more suspense in it. It sounds like there is kind of like a thriller aspect to it. Then we got the cover of Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I really like this cover. The purple flowers are so pretty. We got the cover for The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the 3rd and final book in the Hawthorne Legacy trilogy. I always want to say Inheritance Cycle, but that is such a different series. We got a cover for The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. This is Riley's newest thriller novel. This is going to be coming out next summer. We also got a cover for D&D Call of the Netherdeep, which is a Dungeons & Dragons book, and this one is a Critical Role book, and I'm really excited. Andrew and I already pre-ordered this one. Then we got the cover for Empty Smiles by Catherine Arden. This is the 4th and final book in her Small Spaces quartet. Each one takes place during a different season, so the final book, Empty Smiles, takes place in the summer, and the cover is pretty creepy. We also got a cover for This Woven Kingdom by Tahereh Mafi. Then we have a cover for Tokyo Dreaming by Emiko Jean. I really like the covers of these books, and I had no idea what they were about until very recently, and now I really want to get the first one and read it because it sounds like completely like something that I would love. Then we got the cover for Once Upon a K-Prom by Kat Cho. This is Kat Cho's newest novel, and it's actually a contemporary novel. Her previous duology, The Wicked Fox duology, was a fantasy series, so I'm excited to read a contemporary story by her. Then K.A. Tucker announced a new book in her Alaska series. This one is called Running Wild. It follows Calla's best friend Marie. It doesn't focus on Calla and Jonah, though they will likely have some kind of cameo in the book. Then we got the cover for Rise of the Vicious Princess by C.J. Redwine. I am kind of excited to check this one out. I haven't read a C.J. Redwine book in quite a while, but I have enjoyed previous books of hers that I have read, so this was like a fun thing to kind of pop up in my Instagram feed. We also got a cover for Valiant Ladies by Melissa Gray. Melissa has been referring to this as her Sword Lesbians book. I really like the cover. It is so beautiful and I can't wait to read it. Then we got the cover for The War of Two Queens by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I believe this one is coming out in 2022. We also got a cover for The Last to Vanish by Megan Miranda. This is Megan Miranda's newest thriller novel, again coming out in 2022. Then we have a cover for Anthony Ryan's new book, The Martyr. I have not read any Anthony Ryan books yet, and I feel like I need to do that. Then we have a really beautiful cover for A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. This one sounds really good, and I'm very excited to get my hands on a copy. I have a feeling it's going to be in one of the book boxes that I subscribe to. Then we got the cover for The Oleander Sword by Tasha Suri. I believe this is the second book in a series, but I'm not 100% sure. Then we have the cover for This Wicked Fate by Kaylin Barron. These covers are so pretty. I haven't read the first one yet. I really need to do that. I find myself often not reading first books in a series anymore until there are like at least one or two more out, because I really do like binging things. I've kind of come to learn that about myself over the past year. And then the last cover reveal is for The No-Show by Beth O'Leary, who I also have not yet read any of her books. Then I have a couple of title reveals to talk about. So Trisha Levenseller announced a new book called Vengeance of the Pirate Queen. This takes place in the world of the Daughter of the Pirate King duology. It's a standalone, but it is connected to the first duology. I imagine that you would enjoy it a lot more if you had read the first duology, so I'd recommend doing that if you think you might be interested. This one's coming out in summer of 2023. Then we got the title reveal for Painted Devils by Margaret Owen. This is the second book in what I believe is a duology. I'm not sure if it is more books, but this one takes place right after Little Thieves, which is her most recent release. And then the last title reveal that I have is How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. This is Grady's next horror novel, and it's coming next summer. Then we have some exciting adaptation news. So the Spiderwick Chronicles by Holly Black and Tony D. Terlizzi is actually going to be adapted for Disney+. This was announced on Disney Plus Day this past month. It's a 5-book series with 3 spin-off books, and I'm pretty excited that one of Holly's works is getting adapted for Disney. I'm really hopeful that they will adapt more of her stories. Then it was announced that Augustine Frizzles is going to be directing the adaptation of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by Victoria Schwab. And then I was basically dying when we found out that Natasha Liu Bordizio got cast as Sabine Wren in the upcoming Ahsoka series, which is the story that I have been waiting for. I'm so thrilled about this news. That's going to be on Disney+. Legendary and WB also announced that they're going to be making a sequel to the Dune film. I have not yet watched it, but I keep saying I want to read the book first, so we'll see if I actually do that. But I don't really think that's a surprise to anyone. Dune seemed to do really well, and a lot of fans seem to be very pleased with it, and it also seemed to draw in a lot of new audiences. Then it was announced that Daniel Day Kim is going to be playing Fire Lord Ozai in the Netflix live-action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I am not so hopeful about this series anymore after the departure of the creators. They left to go to Paramount Plus and to do some Avatar shows over there. Really not sure what to expect with this live action Avatar, but you can bet that I'll watch it. And I do really like Daniel Day Kim, so it'll be interesting to see him as Fire Lord Ozai. Then we got a new poster for The Hating Game. This adaptation is streaming and in theaters on December 10th. This is a very beloved romance book. I personally don't like it the way that other people like it. I thought that it was fine, but it was very overhyped in my opinion, but I'm definitely going to watch the film. I think that'll probably be a really fun watch. Then Marie Lu's Legend series is in development for a TV show adaptation. Bound Entertainment is the company working on the project, but there's been no production timeline announcement or casting or anything like that. Then we had some Marvel movie release date changes. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is now going to be releasing on May 6th. It was previously supposed to come out in March. Everything is basically just shifting and taking the place of the movie before it. So the next shift is Thor: Love and Thunder. That was previously supposed to come out in May, and now it'll be coming out on July 8th. Then Black Panther: Wakanda Forever was supposed to come out on July 8th, but it is now coming out on November 11th. And finally, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which was supposed to be releasing in February of 2023, is now going to be releasing on July 28th of 2023. Then a couple of more Disney Plus Day announcements. So we got a Kenobi sizzle reel, which was not at all what we were hoping for. I mean, the reel looked fantastic, but I thought that we were going to get a Kenobi trailer or something, and unfortunately that was not the case. There was no Star Wars news, which was kind of disappointing, but there was a lot of Marvel news, which was really exciting. I was really excited to hear that Agatha House of Harkness is officially happening. I talked about the rumored Agatha spin-off show in a previous news video, and it is coming to fruition. I'm so excited. And speaking of Agatha, the Agatha All Along song actually just got nominated for a Grammy, and I'm wearing an Agatha shirt at the moment from The Colorful Geek. We also got first looks at Moon Knight, at She-Hulk, at Ms. Marvel, all of which I cannot wait for. We found out about X-Men 97, which is a new animated X-Men series taking place in the same timeline as the beloved 1990s X-Men animated series. Another animated show that was announced was Spider-Man Freshman Year. This is going to be following Peter Parker as he becomes Spider-Man, our classic origin story, but it's going to be, I believe, kind of closely adapting the classic Spider-Man comics. They also announced Marvel Zombies, which is an animated series of superheroes fighting zombies, which is pretty self-explanatory. Also very excited for I Am Groot, which is an anthology series of shorts. They're going to be following Baby Groot as he grows up. And finally, right before the release of Hawkeye, the new Marvel TV show on Disney Plus, we found out that Echo, who is a character from Hawkeye, will be getting her own spin-off series. Echo is the MCU's first Indigenous character, and she is also deaf. And in the comics, she's also the adopted daughter of the Kingpin. If you might also recognize him from the Netflix Daredevil show. So I feel like Echo could be a bit darker than what we've seen so far on Disney Plus. Then it was announced that Hayao Miyazaki is coming out of retirement yet again for one last Studio Ghibli film. It is based on a 1937 novel by Genzaburo Yoshino, and it follows a 15-year-old boy in Tokyo who gets into lots of mischief, but he has recently just lost his father. And that is everything. So that's all the news that I have to talk about today. I'm sure that I'm going to be doing another one of these kind of soon, though December does tend to be a slower month for news since we do have the holiday season and a lot of people tend to take some time off. I'm glad that I got to play a little bit of catch up in this one. So let me know what you're most excited to read or watch or what have you. But that's all that I have for this video, and I will see you guys soon in a new one. Bye!